properties in the Sarasota, Bradenton Parish, Palmetto area, the Siesta Key, Holmes Beach, Longboat Key area. And today I've got some really incredible properties. By the way, happy 4th. I know that we're not really going to get to celebrate this year like maybe we've wanted to by going to the beach or going to the downtown area and watching the fireworks. But I can tell you fireworks sales are through the roof this year. So I can imagine that the neighborhoods are going to be some pretty good shows. And my cat and my kid are going to be really, really enjoying it at 10 and 11 o'clock on Saturday night, I am sure. So let's go ahead and hop in. Today, I'm going to be focusing on a couple properties that actually have a lot of land. I'm kind of moving toward the land side because what I'm hearing from a lot of people is that not only are some people just kind of sick of suburban life, but just with everything going on in the world, like, hey, maybe we should get some chickens. Hey, maybe we should actually kind of farm a little bit and get off the grid a little bit. And so I'm doing my kind of pandemic, apocalyptic shutdown lot search for you. And last thing I'll mention before I get into my first property, which is on Gulfstream Avenue in Sarasota, is simply that the market is on fire right now. I'm almost getting frustrated because when I'm searching for some of my folks, if they don't respond to me quick enough, by the time they do respond on a property, it's gone. I mean, it's just gone. There's no better time than ever to sell your property and get it on the market because it will get souped up so quickly. If it's priced right, if it shows right, if it's been well kept, you can get it at top dollar right now and really get out quickly. So if you've wondered if it's something that's feasible right now, or if you've wondered like, okay, what's my area doing? And is it really in this time? Like, is it really time to say, yes, it is typically, but let's take a look at your area. Let's take a look at your market because every neighborhood kind of has its own market. Every zip code has its own market. Every area of town is different. And the cool thing is that I've had so much experience in this area. I know every little pocket and nook and cranny of the city. So I'm excited to show you these properties today. All right, Chris, let's get to it. So let me share my screen here. Boom. Okay, so the first one I'm going to be looking at is a very high-end property. It's going to be priced at $3 million. It is in View Sarasota Bay, which is it's kind of right there at the corner of 41 and right there by Marina Jack. And they built this complex a couple of years ago, and I couldn't believe that they built it because they built it so close to the road. I mean, it literally lines up right on the road, but it's gorgeous. And the reason I wanted to look at this is because, first of all, it's kind of a dream of mine to live in the metropolitan lifestyle in a downtown metro area and within walking distance to Main Street. But so, like I said, $3 million. This is going to be a pretty high-end property. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've looked at a lot of types of properties. And you can go down the street and get something a little bit lesser quality for in the $7 million range. So $3 million is actually a really good deal in my opinion. And this being updated, it's got, the flooring is, it is very, very high quality lifestyle here, obviously. It's right next door to the Ritz-Carlton, so you can kind of enjoy that. But man, look at the view. That's Marina Jack right there, and then State Road 41. And then you have the view of the bay there. And then when you go to the other side of the balcony where there's your grill and everything, you're literally seeing Longboat Key right there. There's the Ringling Bridge, and then there's the ocean. You're obviously about 5 minutes from Lido Key and St. Armand Circle, some of the most sought after areas and tourist destinations in the world. And you're right there. My wife and I like to walk that bridge all the time. And to me, I mean, you can get high rises in downtown Sarasota, no problem. I mean, you can find them. They're a dime a dozen, and being a luxury property, they're always going to be on the market and they'll sit there for a while. But man, there's really no view like this that I've seen. This is really something, and that's why I'm showing it to you, because I love to find gems. So let's go ahead and let's look at our next property. So let's see, 4452575. The MLS code. Okay, so this is going to be 7450 South Gator Creek Boulevard in Sarasota. It's priced at $800,000. Now, we can say Sarasota and it mean one thing, but this is probably as far not Sarasota as I could probably show you. So let's show you on the map here. If you know Clark Road, which is south part of Sarasota, we're going to be going east of Lorain. So to give you kind of some context, there's 75. Lorain is about a 5-minute drive. So you're about a 6+ minute drive from the interstate. And this is a good property. It actually was an impending sale, and that sale fell through for whatever reason. It could be due to inspections, but it could usually be just because of funding. Maybe somebody lost their job due to COVID. You never know. But it's in Gator Creek. It's a nice development there, and obviously you can see that there's lots of land. And actually, let me hop back here. So this is going to be a 4.4. It's 3,400 square feet. I think that's important context. So it's got that that older style. You've got to like wood for this house. And MLS has been slow lately because so many people have been on it. So just bear with me. So you've got brick inside. You've got wood beams inside. They really did a good job taking this property and preserving what was good about it, and then bringing into the 21st century what needed to be brought in. It does have a kitchen remodel, and we'll see that in just a moment. I love that you're going to feel that country lifestyle, but you have the energy efficiency side of it. I think that's something that's, at least for me, when I'm buying a property, that's super important for me, is just making sure that everything's quality in it. So let me kind of scoot ahead. You've got just bedrooms and bathrooms, lots of wood. And see, I like these properties. I love these, the character that you can find, because, man, when you get the cookie cutter homes and the stucco new builds, when you're in that a lot, it's refreshing to see things like this that you haven't seen, in this area. So I love the property. It's also on a lake. It's got the great fence line there. This is a property that you and your family could really, really cherish. And this development isn't going anywhere. There's probably going to be development out on this side, but for now, it is a beautiful, beautiful property. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more luxury property. 46905. So this is 210 Archer Way. This is Anna Maria. And the reason I'm showing you this is because one of the things, one of the markets that I think is really going to develop in the next 2 years or so is the vacation market. You have people who are picking up more vacation rentals, and then you have people who are going to need to offload their vacation rentals. And there's going to be more regulation in terms of pandemic closures. And so that's something that I'm keeping an eye on. That's something that I'm really going to be watching. But this is a $1.4 million 3.3. It says it was built in 2006. I think that might need to be revisited. It may be a remodel of some type that gave it that number. But let me show you on the map where it is. For those of you that don't know anything about the island, let me kind of back out a little bit. So Anna Maria is the very tip. Once you get north, you get down here into St. Pete and Fort DeSoto. So depending on what side of the island you're on, you can get some pretty cool views of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. The only way to really get to this area is Manatee Avenue West or State Road 64. So if you're coming from the interstate, you're going to be coming through downtown Bradenton, or you're going to be coming south from 275 through Palmetto. So there's really only one way in, one way out. So that's something to keep in mind. And everybody who is trying to decide if they're going to buy on any of the islands, it's just the debate. Okay, every time I need to go to the store, if I'm a Costco member, if I work in St. Petersburg or work in Tampa, do I want to go through that traffic? Everybody goes through that analytical process, and they have to answer that question. And so what you find is that you have your people that come on the island for a while, and then they move over here kind of to 75th Street. And this area is kind of it's your old money, but it's also your people who may have lived on the island but got sick of this part right here on State Road 64 that backs up and can easily take you an hour to get on the island during high season. So Golf Drive is your main drive. And this area actually just got redone in terms of creating more bike-friendly sidewalks. They're double-wide sidewalks, so you can get. I don't think you can get a golf cart on there, but you could if you tried. But golf carts are allowed to drive on this area since the speed limit, I believe, is 25 miles an hour. You have some preserve over here for the beach. You can get to the beaches, but this preserve right here will be a good item to keep in mind, because this being a vacation rental, you're going to want to be able to make sure that the beach is within walking distance. All right, Chris, show me the house. So here we go. So it's your traditional block home. It's very nicely done. It's, in my opinion, it's preserved from the street, with the vegetation there. And just looking at it, it's got a great roof, great pool. This is a total vacation home, but it's nice. And just to give you an idea on vacation rentals in the Anna Maria area, in the high season, that would be what we like to say is there's a light switch that turns on right after Valentine's Day, and then the light switch kind of turns off right after Easter, which is, it's debatable as to when Easter is. It just depends on the religious calendars, but it could be, this year it was the middle of April. So, you've got about a 2-month window there, and a lot of these places can go upwards of $10,000 to $12,000 per week. So when you're looking at the financials, you might say, well, how can I constitute $1.4 million? Well, if you've got the cash to be able to offload, a second property or a vacation rental, you've got the down payment to be able to secure it, and you know that you can offset that mortgage with some significant high dollar rentals during season. I know that I'm saying this after a year when vacation rentals were mandated to be shut down, but there will be a day when there is no more, quote unquote, coronavirus, and we will get to some sense of normalcy. And now's the time to really jump in, because people are hesitant. So as you can see, this property has everything that it needs to have to be able to be a successful Airbnb, a successful VRBO, and it is within a very reasonable walking distance to the beach, if not a driving distance to the beach. And there's the intercoastal side and the pier, and that restaurant just got bought out, and there's the beach. Plenty of space for people to walk around, especially since it's more south of the Spring Avenue access point. So the subdivision name is Laguna Maria. So let's move to some more conventional properties. We're going to go to 8446596. This one is another country property, and I wanted to show you this because I think it's a really reasonable house. To kind of steal a testimony from some of my friends. They own a dog training company, and so they needed more land to be able to train their dogs on, and so they found a great property off Verta Bethany, which is East Bradenton, and they're using that, and they got a home that they've remodeled, or they're remodeling and getting it to their standards, but they wanted that acreage. This one is a 1,508 square foot 3.2 built in 91, and it's priced at $339. Now let's hop into the MLS here this time, because I want to show you the actual size of the lot. It's 1.65 acres. And then let me show you on the map where it is. Where you say, well, that's not really a lot of land. Well, it is a significant amount of land. and it's a triangular plot right on this curve of 675. But let me show you where it is. It's super close to downtown Parrish. And this area is expanding and exploding. So something you will have to keep in mind is they will be 4-laning this road eventually, because they're getting a lot of neighborhoods out this way, and then they're getting a lot of neighborhoods out this way. They just put this triangle right here at 675 in Rye. They just got permission to build. I think it's 2,500 homes. So there's going to be a significant amount of homes that go in there. And then Rye Road right here is getting redone. It's getting replumbed, and then they're redoing the intersection down here at State Road 64 and Rye. Publix is going in right here at Lorraine and 64. So there's a lot of activity, but downtown Parrish is really something to keep your eye on because it's close to the interstate, but there's a lot happening, and they're going to be developing a little bit of like a town. Lots of little shops, lots of places to pay attention to on a Saturday, and a little bit more of a biking district. So, not much to say about this house, but what I do want to say is that it's been remodeled, and that's not something that you see a lot on acreage on a main road that's close to town, reasonable price point. So let me hop inside the house here, so you can see it looks like a new home. They've picked great tile flooring, they've got good colors, and it's a great base. A baseline to start from. And this is what I really like. It's got new appliances. It's nice and clean. You're not having to go in and do all this remodeling so that you can get into a decent property on some land. You could easily, on an acre, have a cow, have a horse, do some chickens, a small barn of some type. This is a property you could have for 40 years and be very, very happy with. So there's it from the road. So it kind of swoops up from the side. You've got a bit of a drive. So if it were me, I'd probably do some hedging or something along the road here and make it a little bit more private. And then there's the curve that takes you right into downtown Parrish right there. So cool property. I thought this was really worth showing. So the last one I'm going to show you today, since I did a couple land ones, 446, 6808. So this one is in Palmetto. So, and actually it's not the last one. I'm going to show you one other one. So stay tuned. So this is a 2,400 square foot 4.3 priced at $287.5. And the reason I like this is because it's a very good price for your square foot. It's in Oakhurst, which is in Palmetto. Let me show you on the map. This is a developing area of Palmetto. You've got all the farmland that's selling off. So it's just after the 1941 split, and then you make a right, go down Experimental, and then it's on the left in one of those neighborhoods there. I really like the access. If you work in St. Pete, this is really a great spot to be because you can just hop right on the interstate and boom, you're going through the toll over the Skyway. And then same for if you work in Sarasota. It's actually faster to hop up 41, go east, and then drop down 75 here. You'd be surprised at how quickly you can do that. And it's an up-and-coming area. There's a lot of developments going in right over here at Palmview and 683 and Experimental. And so you're going to see an equity bump in the coming years. So that would be why I'd pay attention to this property. It's looking, it looks very new. It's built in 2012, but to me, it's nicely done. You've got your linoleum floors throughout, and let's actually get back in the house here. So it's a good clean slate, your cookie cutter home, but it's going to be more energy efficient. It's got the black trim around the windows, which is something that a lot of new homes are doing. So there you go. I'm kind of silent because there's not much to say. It's a home, And if you're looking to get into a starter home, if you're looking to get a little bit more square footage, this is definitely something that I would pay attention to. A lot of people would ask me, is it something that you could put a pool into this house? I would say right off the bat, that's a no. But I know when my wife and I bought, we bought at the 240 mark 4.5 years ago, and got into a house a little bit smaller than this, and it has been really, really great. We're finally putting our thumbprint on it. We're finally getting ourselves to a point that we really are starting to fall in love with the house and make it something that is going to be something that we can keep for many years to come. So the last one I'm going to show you, 7048 White Willow Court. It's priced at $450. It's a 4.3.5, built in 2015. The reason I'm showing you this house, again, it's kind of another cookie cutter home, but at the same time, this is a good one in a good area. And let me show you. We had some friends that lived right, I think, over here in Whitfield and Lockwood Ridge. And man, it is literally like the center of town to me. Because if you look at it just kind of on the map, it's right here where you can hop in Sarasota, you can hop up to the beaches, you can hop up to Bradenton, you can get to St. Pete in no time, and even to Siesta Key. It's a real great center point. And I like it because, my wife and I we rented our last home before we bought somewhere in here, and was very happy with it. The only complaint that we do have is that because it's closer to a lot of restaurants than being in Parrish, we definitely had a higher food budget, going to different restaurants and all. So if you are somebody who likes to restrict yourself by living in the country so you don't go out to eat places, this is definitely not the location for you, but I really, really like it. Let's hop into this property. Again, 7048 White Willow Court. I like the charm. I haven't looked, but I think, based on the look of it, if I am correct, this is going to be a Neil community, and Neil's really been exploding. So, you got to look through all their stuff. But, I mean, that's an awesome, awesome rug. I can imagine putting my toes into that. That would be pretty awesome. So it's got the upstairs loft. So, again, you're kind of getting some good square footage here. The bedrooms are smaller in new homes, so that is something that you have to keep in mind. So bulky furniture, hey, I've got that picture right over here. So double sinks, those are always things that I want to pay attention to. But look at this backyard. So the lot actually comes out a little bit further than the house next door, and so as a result, you get more backyard for your buck. Yeah, there you go. It's showing. So I don't know if it's like on a curve. I need to look at the map again. But each house is coming out further. So you get some really nice land activity there. And this is what I like to see. You're not going to be putting any houses here. You got a little retention pond. You got some good backyard there. You've got the fence line there to kind of block as well. And so you really get a lot of privacy on this lot. This is definitely something that I would pay attention to. Nice little front porch. And there you go, folks. Well, let me hop back in here and stop my screen share. There we go. Well, thank you so much for watching. Again, this is your weekly hot drop. I like to do it on Wednesdays. Today, it just happens to be Thursday. But again, if you have any questions about what's happening in the market, I try to show you every single week properties that are scattered all over town. I try to do a star, and I feel like I really accomplished that today with one dot right there in the middle in the kind of Lockwood Ridge area between 70 and University. But I really love this town. I love what's happening to it. I feel like we're in a very preserved area of the country, because the fact is that the beaches aren't going anywhere for the time being, and they're beautiful. So waterfront properties going away. And the fact is that you can be in an area that is within 30 to 45 minutes to some of the best beaches in the world for less than $250,000. The fact that you can get into that blows my mind. If you think about some of these other states, like New Jersey, or, even like Rhode Island or California or Seattle, that area, you can't get to the beaches for that price that close or within that much of a drive. And then not only that, it's beautiful. The weather's great here. I can go on and on and on. But thanks so much for watching. If you have any properties that you think I should put up here, drop it in the comments or PM me some of the properties that you want me to look at. And also, if you have a specific area of town that you want me to focus on, I'm happy to focus on that. Maybe next week I'll focus on just Parrish or just Bradenton or just Sarasota, and we can just kind of get into it a little bit more, and we can get an idea of what's actually happening in that area. So also, I'm going to throw out some neighborhoods to really be watching. These are 3 neighborhoods that if you want to get into a neighborhood that is long-lasting and you'll always be able to sell, these are the 3 neighborhoods that I like to look at. I like to look at Mill Creek, which is East State Road 64 in Bradenton, or I'm going to call it East Bradenton. Mill Creek is a great neighborhood, lots of land on those properties. What you'll find is that they're kind of getting to a point where you'll need to do not what I would call remodeling, but you'll definitely need to do updating. To me, there's a difference between a remodel where you're going in and, like Chip and Joanne, and you're knocking, we're just going to knock this whole wall down. We'll need to get a load-bearing beam. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, okay, we're replacing countertops, we're painting, we're maybe tearing out a little bit of tile and then replacing the tile. Those kinds of updates. Mill Creek is going to be one of those neighborhoods. Moat Ranch is going to be the second one that I always pay attention to. It's in a great zip code, 34201. It's right there off of Honore, and you can be to the University Town Center within 3 to 5 minutes, depending on where you're at. Also, they have very low HOA fees. Depending on where you're at, you can get in for it's something stupid, like $100 a year, and you get great amenities with that. And there's even a Braden River that kind of cuts through, and you can connect to it if you're a canoeer / kayaker type person. And then the third one I would pay attention to is going to be in South Sarasota and the Palmer Ranch area. It's called Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock is a tough neighborhood to get into because I'm telling you what, it's like something hits the market and the next week it's gone. If it's not one of those houses that are just kind of like overpriced or too much square footage and it's kind of awkward, but the good houses in that neighborhood, they just don't last. But if you want me to get you on, an MLS email where you're getting updates on particular areas, at certain price points, certain bedrooms and bathrooms, certain acreage, all those types of things, I can actually set up that email for you, and you can go in and heart and like and dispose of properties in that area. And so when something comes up, you can go, okay, boom, that's what I want. Let's go look at it. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Throw a GIF into the bottom. I like to see your GIFs. So yeah, I'm going to throw one in right now.